When the reigning Miss Wheelchair Louisiana won the crown of Miss Wheelchair America, her platform expanded. Stand for Life is her platform. When 50-year-old Karen Roy says stand for life, it is something she means literally, even for someone whose legs are paralyzed. She has been paralyzed for more than 3 decades.
I come from the long line of determined people, but I went to rehab, and the typical length of stay at that time in 1987 was 3 months for a spinal cord injury. And I knew there was no way that I was staying there 3 months. I wanted to get back to school and back to my life.
Karen Roy's legs were paralyzed 31 years ago when she was shot during a robbery. But she was not going to let her new reality keep her from doing things many would consider impossible for those in her condition. This year, in winning the crowns of Miss Wheelchair Louisiana and then Miss Wheelchair America, she's been given a bigger stage to voice what she learned would keep her healthy in that life-altering moment at 19.
My platform has been my mantra from the beginning of my accident. I knew that standing was going to increase my bone density and improve circulation. I knew that the electrical stem was going to increase blood flow and keep muscle tone on my legs. So the equipment that I fought to have, and I carved out time weekly, several times a week, is what has kept me wound-free and healthy for the last 31 years. I have not stopped talking about why everyone doesn't have standing equipment, why everyone who can benefit from electrical stem doesn't have these pieces of equipment. I've never understood that.
Well, you mentioned your doctors have often said you don't need to worry about your legs.
Yeah, why bother?
And your response to that was?
My legs are still attached to my body. They're an important part of my overall health.
This mother of 3 travels the country, sometimes weekly, spreading the word about technologies that exist and that offer preventative care. This standing robotic device is the most advanced piece of equipment she's used. It lets her move around her house and in her kitchen, where she can do things that would be difficult from a wheelchair.
And you mentioned specifically that you've not had the typical injuries that someone in your predicament would face.
People every day that have new injuries, and within months you can have a wound. Within weeks you can have a urinary tract infection. The wounds become so bad that they end up to a bone infection, people becoming septic, and it's eventually what killed Christopher Reeves, was a very bad decubitus breakdown that eventually turned him septic and then caused his death.
Her platform is giving her a voice at Louisiana's state capitol and in the nation's capital.
We're fighting right now in DC for them to carve out a special category specifically for custom wheelchairs. A lot of people don't realize the difference between an airport wheelchair, a chair you see after you break your leg, versus a highly customized chair for someone who lives in it. What CMS, for the Center of Medicare and Medicaid, call an accessory to a chair is a component like a cushion or this custom back that keeps me midline, that prevents me from having a wound. This cushion is highly customized. Everyone should have access to the devices that keep people healthy. It shouldn't be for the privileged few who have enough money or a good enough job that they can afford to pay for these things out of pocket. We can now control our home from our phone. You know, we have smart houses, but we won't pay for a standing frame for someone who's paralyzed. It's time to catch up. I plan to use this opportunity to its fullest potential in spreading the word about technology and people with disabilities.
Karen is also working to promote and produce the next Miss Wheelchair Louisiana